of the things that I think a lot of people associate with you is creativity.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
Explain. Jeez.
And this is something that
That's
really.
why your dad hired me.
Well, it's something that interests the hell out of me.
Yeah.
We talked to Gary Ballou, was an innovator.
Yeah, Gary Ballou on here?
He was one of our first guests this year or last year.
Last year.
Yeah, man. We used to race against him. Loved it.
But a lot of people that we've had on the show, Rodney and others, talking about, I'm not straight up calling you a cheater. I'm just saying.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
You are innovative. You're innovative. Like you.
Jeez, man.
What? You read.
Yeah. You're right. No, you're right.
I'm part of this too. So because I told, I would tell people, when somebody gets busted for something or NASCAR finds something they don't like, I'm like, I want that crew chief.
Yeah.
If my guy ain't trying to get busted, then we ain't trying hard enough.
Yeah.
I loved an aggressive crew chief that was willing to sit at home for 6 weeks.
Yeah. I did a couple times.
Right. So,
Yeah.
I think, what are some of the more creative things that you did to race cars to try to find speed?
Nothing you're doing now, though, of course.
Yeah.
Man, I can go back a long, long ways, brother.
Because I think that was, that's not why you're a 7-time champion in the Cup Series, but I think that one of the things that I always appreciated about you is that even when you did get your hand smacked from NASCAR, you never changed that sort of approach.
Yeah.
That you got to be aggressive.
Yeah.
If you're not pushing the limits of the rule book and finding holes in it every single day. And when we would go, we'd go to meetings at NASCAR or we go to our meetings at the conference room, and that was my favorite part, was when we were going to talk about where we could get creative. No, just where we could get creative.
Yeah.
And you could tell, without saying any names, you could tell who in the room was eager to explore opportunities where we could find, ways to be creative with the rule book and find holes in it. You could see the people that were like, ugh, this makes me uncomfortable.
That's usually management.
Yeah, for sure.
It's Alan Gustafson just said this really well, and he said, to be successful in anything, you got to be just a little bit uncomfortable. And it's the truth, right? And I lived my whole life very uncomfortable. Going through technical inspection, making race calls, designing parts and cars and all of that. Always just trying to push the limits. And man, we would have stuff that the rear end housings would move in our cars, an inch and a half, and we just go out there and just whip everybody. And NASCAR would look at it and be like, "Well, you can't do that." I'm like, "Well, why? Show me." Well, we just can't. And then they would write a rule, right?
Yeah.
And then we were so fortunate back then that we would have things stacked up, and we would bring them out. Okay, we'll run this for a while till they catch it. And when they catch it, all right, close that door, bring in this new item. All right, now we'll run that.
You had a long-term plan of innovation, we'll call it. I don't want to directly call you a cheater or anything.
No, man, it's how we did it. And what we would do is we get to the playoffs and everything would come together. Like everything that we tried early in the summer or late in the spring or at this track, and we'd bring all that stuff together and we'd hit the playoffs, man. We were ready to rock and roll.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. Pretty awesome.
We didn't have a chance.
Well,
man, chance.
We did when we got in the same building.
Yeah, that was it.
Man, you did great. You were right in the hunt for the championship, man.
There's a lot of good parts and pieces.
Yeah, we had a lot. We'd have to bring the drivers in. I can't tell you how many times I'd lean in the window of Jimmy's race car and be like, "Hey, man, you might want to sneak up on this one."
Yeah.
Don't really know what's going to happen. Yeah. And he'd just rip it, right?
This could be 3 tenths faster and it might just crash. We don't know.
We just got to see. But we would bring the drivers in and be like, "All right, guys, look, this weekend we got a little something going on here. Just make sure you're prepared and give us good feedback. Don't freak out on the radio." He's vocal on the radio. Damn rear end housing's falling out of the car. And I'm like, Letarte, tell him to shut up, man. Like, everybody's hearing this. Everybody listens to Dale.
So when you, to be clear for everybody listening at home, you're pointing to Dale Jr. being the vocal one, not Jimmy necessarily. It's
Letart never came to the window and said, "Hey, man,
we got to be a little discreet about this. We're trying some things." So Dale Jr.'s basically blowing the cover.
Oh man, shh, keep it quiet. We work on it. We get a little bit better, and we get it all squared away. And next thing you know, we're going fast.
Oh yeah,
Man.
If it felt weird, I'd be like, I can't do it. You got to tighten all that up back there.
What do y'all have back there? No, tell me on the radio right now what y'all have done.
Get that 1/8" wrench and tighten that up.
Oh my God, that is so true. That is exactly it. I remember we were going to surprise Dale with this, we were going to sponsor the Spire car, and I had this visions of grandeur where Dale doesn't know, and we have a car back there, and we're going to pull off the cover, and it's going to have a Dirty Mo sponsorship on a cup car, and he's going to be like, man, y'all got it. Oh, it's so awesome. And I'm like, what am I thinking? Dale's never going to react the way you think he is. He's going to go, why didn't y'all tell me this? What? And it's like, and then the moment's going to be gone. No, I got to tell him well in advance of it. Make sure he doesn't blow the cover. That's so funny you said that.
It's true. It's a true story. Yeah. But yeah, man, we had a lot of fun back then. It was great.
Yeah, it was fun. It was awesome to be able to get in the same shop and so when I was racing when I was at DI, for anyone in the sport at the time, HMS is kind of this perfect, successful, man, I wonder what it's like in there. Wonder what they do. And I finally get hired to go work there, and I worked in the 588 shop for a while, and it was nice, and it was definitely a different culture, but I still knew, and there was a huge difference between the cultures, not better or worse, but there was a different culture in the 4824 shop. Yeah. And I was like, dang, it's cool being here, and I'm getting to see some things that I've always wanted to see and getting to have these conversations with everybody that works here. But, man, now I really want to kind of be in that shop.
Yeah.
Which I never thought it'd happen. But
what do you attribute that to, though, the difference of the culture? Well, I mean, it was so noticeable. It's Chad. You're saying it's Chad.
Yeah.
Is that true?
I guess. Yeah. I mean, I have to assume. I mean, Dale saw it from the outside and lived both worlds. I mean, he can attest to it more than anybody
Chad
else.
Definitely ran. Chad sort of controlled the atmosphere and the temperature in the 4824 shop as far as my experience. Now, before that, I don't know. He was there quite a while. But when I got there, Letart leaned on Chad. Mm-hmm. Letart knew the opportunity he had to be able to work in the same building with Chad, and he utilized that and to his success, and to our success. Yeah. And we were moldy, we would fit wherever we needed to fit in that shop, and they were going to be who they were going to be. And we really just kind of leaned on them all the time, and tried to find ways to use what they were using and do what they were doing to make ourselves better. And
you contributed a ton, man. Jimmy got significantly better super speedway racing around with you. We got a win because of you, right? There's
Talladega.
Yeah.
When he pushed him.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember that. No, junior fans don't remember that at all either. No, there's no way.
It's the only time he ever stayed behind anybody, I think. Honestly.
That was the suckiest part about the tandem stuff, is that I was just good at pushing. I was not a good leader. Think about that. Think about, okay, so have you ever raced in the you've probably not done it, but you've probably seen the chain races where they have the lead car has the motor, and I think the rear car has the brakes. Yep. I was good at being the pusher, and when I was leading, I'm like, I might as well have had like a 50-to-1 steering box with a giant steering wheel. I'm like, I don't know where to go,
Oh man.
I'm trying to think. I think that race. That may have been one of my first races back after a suspension too, that we won that race. So thank you.
Yeah, no.